Hello, hello everyone. All right. Okay, let's get started. I think there is something here to share. My internet is very slow today. I don't know why. Anyways, so today we are going to work on a PHP based project. Um, we're also going to build a mini project, a mini um, application. Um, Actually, I don't feel the best today, but I still decided I'll run this stream, you know, just because I don't want to miss a day. So here's what we're going to be doing. We're supposed to learn the basics of PHP and then um move on to like a um more practical approach of seeing how things work and so on. But I'm just going to really brush through. I've linked in the description um, the resources we're going to be using for this project. Um, there is so we have I linked these two websites. This is the official PHP website, and we have W3 Schools version of PHP tutorials. I think this is a much uh, shorter and concise version of what you need to know to start developing in PHP. Uh, while this one is like the official documentation of PHP, it contains more detailed stuff. It has a lot of explanation. It goes in depth into different things, right? Sorry, a second, please. All right, so um, yeah, you can make use of these two resources. I've linked the sites in the description of this video, so you can just go ahead and you go to the documentation page. There's a lot of things here. You can just see like the basic syntax, the types, variables, constant, and so on. So what we are going to do today is going to be really focused on basic knowledge, basic PHP knowledge. So we are going to learn about, you know, basic functionalities in PHP. Is my stream still up? Yeah. Okay. So I'm not really going to go into details about the basic stuff. I think you can just go to the website and learn them there. So let's jump right into it. No more wasting of time. I'll open VS Code. Right, we're going to write our code in VS Code. We'll create our first file, which is going to be a PHP file. We'll call this index.php. So we have our index file opened. We are going to write our first PHP code. So before we write any PHP code, we need to put our PHP code in the PHP tags. So it's going to look something like this. So we'll have PHP, right, like this. Now you can leave your file like this if you are not going to write any other PHP aside from whatever is, after this opening tag. So you can just leave it like this. Otherwise, if you have for example HTML to include in this same file, then you will need to close this PHP tag here. So I'll close it for now and let's just test this out. We'll write echo hello world like this, and we'll do this. Okay, to run this file, you can either run this in the browser or just run it in your terminal. So I'll run this in the terminal and I'll type php index.php, and then you can see we have hello world here. Okay, so I think the browser, the view is too small. Let's increase this 1 2 3. I think this should be fine now, right? This okay. So we can close this part and everything is clear. Okay, so how do we open this in the browser? Well, for us to open this code in the browser, any PHP file in the browser, we need to either use XAMPP, right, which is like an all-in-one PHP server. It comes with an Apache server and also let me open XAMPP for you. So we have something called XAMPP like this. I think you can use XAMPP, yes. It's a server solution basically. It has Apache server. It also has PHP and I think MySQL installed in it. So you have a database and everything all in one application. Or you can just spin up a PHP server from your command line. So which is what we'll do here. I'll just come here and open PHP server. Yep. So we'll open this. So we'll say PHP -s localhost. You can just put any address as you want, and then you run this. Now you can see your server is up and running, and when you click this, the link will be open in the browser. So now you can see hello world is printed in the browser. I will just increase this for you guys to see. Yeah, so this is working just fine. The next thing for us to do, so we are going to build a task management app, basically for entering tasks and marking them as done, right? Just like a to-do list. Let's say a to-do list app, for example. Yeah. So why is the time running so fast? Already late. Trying to see. Okay. So to build a to-do list app, we will need a form through which we'll submit our to-dos, and we are going to make use of the file system to store the list of items we are, trying to mark as our to-dos. So we'll create the form inside of HTML. I'll come here and change this to do lists. This is like a very simple application, a beginner level application, or a beginner level project that you can build to, pretty much in every programming language. I think this is like the first things you usually build. So yeah, we'll start with this one. We'll put this here, and so I'll write the CSS inside of this file too. Right, so I'll just put the star here. So I'm not creating a separate CSS file. I'll style everything from this page, and we don't need any JavaScript. So I'm just going to use CSS for the style, and then PHP to manage everything else. So what do we do? Well, I would first of all, okay, let's call this a container, right? Container, which is where everything else will exist. Okay, I'll put an h2 here. H2. I'll say what's good here? So this will be here, and here we'll just do, I'll put something else here. So this will be the form that we'll need. So I'll put form here. We'll need some input field, right? So the name of this input field should be title, right? and we will need the just put priority here. So we'll use a select box. Select, so say this is priority, right? And here we'll do this, we'll say option value, the first one will be empty, and we'll just have two values. We'll have low, we'll put low here, and we'll have another one high, we'll put high here. Okay, let's just add some placeholders first for proper styling. Placeholder will be what do you want to call this? Okay, we'll say so I just save this and come back to this page, and when I refresh this, you can see everything is on the screen, right? Oh, Christ, I made a mistake after a task, but this is not looking good yet. I don't think it is. Let's reduce this a little bit. As you can see, let's put this back to 100%. This is not looking really good, but I don't think this is our major concern right now. So here's what I'll need to do. I'll just come back here, right? And after the form, we need a submit button. So just put a button here like this and say submit, and yeah, I think this is good for now. So let's open this again. Okay, everything is kind of lined up horizontally, but we want things properly centered. So the first thing to do is to add some style here. So let's just put this here, container. We're not going to focus too much on the CSS part. So I just said max width should be like 700 pixel. This will obviously not be it's not going to be responsive. I'm not adding any responsive functionalities to this. I just want things properly centered. Yep, I think this is better. So we can just do display flex, justify items, justify content, sorry. I'll just leave it as flex start, but align item center. Align item should be center, and this should put everything to the center of the page. Okay, flex direction. So flex direction, flex direction should be column. Yeah. Okay, yes, this is what I wanted. Why is that hello world there? Oh, okay, from this part here. All right, so we remove that. We have this here. Let's change something about the form as well. So say form, right? Yeah, Let us do display first direction column, blah blah blah. All of this. We don't want to center the items, so we'll just leave them like that. I think we want to add some gap in between them, so let's just add gap like 5. Yeah, 5. The gap should be 5. I think I need to specify the kind of gap. Let's start. Isn't this supposed to add? I thought that was going to work. Gap 10 pixels. Is that how you do it? Oh, okay. You have to specify the units. I did not do that. Okay, so we can just take the select. I just take select and the input, right? I want to start both of them together. So I'll add width of should I make it 70% of their parents? But 70% of their parents when their parent does not have any width does not make any sense. But oh, it works. Okay, let's make it 100%. Yep, this should be okay. I'm not sure why this is shorter. But anyways, it's good. We are not creating anything perfect today. We're just going to leave the styles like this. And when we click this, you can see we have some things being submitted here. So we'll come back to this later. Now, the reason why you're seeing this here is because by default, the uh, the method that every form uses is the get method. So unless we specify that we are going to be using the post method, everything we submit through the form will be displayed in the URL. So we'll come here and say method here is going to be posts, right? Now with this, everything should be resolved, right? I'll go back into, all right, you know what? Let's just clear this from here. Now when I submit the form, you can see the page just refreshes and you don't see anything in the URL. Okay, so that's it. I think there are some things I need to specify so that we get a clear objective of what we are going to be doing with this project, right? So here's what we are going to do. I'll write out some comments here, right? So this will be some comments. So first of all, we'll first submit task details from form, right? Sanitize inputs. At least let's do that. Sanitize inputs. What else do we need to do? Okay, store that's in file. You can use text file. Yep. Um, display. Okay, so these are the four different things that our project is going to do. Um, let's start with the first one. Now we want to store the to-do items that we add through our form on in a file, right? In a file on our disk or whatever, wherever we are running this. So first of all, we need to specify which file we are trying to save the items to. So again, to get information on how to write to file and how to read from files, you can just come here, right? I think the file system parts should be here. Yeah, you can see uh, file handling, read and write operation, so manipulating files and so on. Read file. So you can just read about this here, right? And get every little understanding that you need. Okay, so let's go back to these parts. I'm just going to show you how to do this. First of all, here's what I'll do. I'll first of all create a file name. I'll call this my to-do file, right? This will be called you know what? I like task better than to do, so I'll just say my task file. This will be my task file dot txt. Okay, so now this will be the file. I've added the entire file with the extension, so this file will be added to this same directory where the index.php file is. So we can then start like this. So I'll just add, hold on, what's going on? Is my stream still running? Okay, it is. I'm not sure about that, but this is crazy. All right, so here's what we'll do. Um, we'll try to open this file, right? There are different modes in which you can open a file in PHP. So there's a read, there's a write, there's an append mode. So since we are trying to read from this file to display the item on the page, right? We'll just open it in a read mode, right? So um I would say first of all, let's add an array here, so that when we read from the file, we'll just add it to the array, right? So we'll say here all tasks. I'll call this all tasks here, and I will set this as an empty array. So we'll say you know what, let's first of all print out the content. So I'll call this content first. This is just for testing purposes. Content will be f open, right? F open. So we need the stream, which is the file name. So I'll just put my file here, and the mode in which we want to read, or yeah, I'll just put read. So this is it, and let's print this to see what's inside. I'll just put print R, or even var dump. You can use anything, but I think print R is really safe for me. So I'll just put content here. Now this will give us an error because we are trying to read a file that does not exist. I'm sure that's what's going to happen. But after the code runs, the file will be created for us, which is very strange. But this will first give us an error. You know what? Let's close this. I'll just come here because that form has been submitted a lot of times. Now you can see it says warning failed to open this and that. Well, the reason why this is happening is because we are trying to read a file that does not exist. So but after this code runs, the file will be created for us. So you can see that from here. Oh, it's not created. Let's refresh this page again. All right, I think it will be created. So one way to avoid this error is by okay, I'm opening it in read mode, so let's open it in write mode first. I think write mode will create it automatically. Yes, so write mode will create the file if it does not exist. Now this is it here, so it has been created for us, so we can go ahead and do anything we want with this file. Again, when the file does not exist, let's delete this file. When the file does not exist, we get that weird error. Yep, so I've deleted it. Let's come here. When you refresh, it gets created automatically. Okay, so always use the write mode, I think. Yeah, so you can also use the conditional statement here to check if the file exists before you start, you know, doing anything to the file. So here would go ahead and do this. So say if file exists, right? Let's put if file does not exist. If file does not exist, what kind of file are we looking for? My task file. Yep. If it doesn't exist, then create it. Right. So, and then we need to close the file. F close, I think. Yeah, we need to close the file after reading. So, contents. I think this is not the best thing to call this file. We'll just change this to something else. So say yeah, let's call this open file. We want to prevent running this code every time our function runs, right? Because we don't want to be attempting the creation of the file every time. This is going to be resource intensive and memory consuming, so we need to change our approach, which is why I make this like this. So now the next thing we'll do is, if the file exists, then we want to read from it, right? And when we read from the file, we want to store all the data in all tasks. That way we can just iterate over all tasks and display the task on the page. So we'll do that by saying here so how do we read file the contents of a file to an array? Well, we use something called um, file is file, right? It's a function that just reads the content of an array of a file into an array. It just transforms everything to an array. So I think you can get that information here. Uh, the file, I think, read file into array in PHP. Yeah. So yeah, you can see the official PHP website also has it. You can see when you put file string, which is the file name as a string, you have different flags. These are all optional. You don't need to provide them. You can use file get content to return the content of a file as a string, but want to return the content of the file as an array. So yeah. Hmm, this is interesting. Okay, so let's use file. So we can say here, um, do, 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 do. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Is my stream still running? Okay. Ha, guess everybody is asleep now. Nobody is here. Da, da, da. All right. Uh, we'll continue regardless. Okay, so here's what I'll do. I'll just take the all task, which is going to be my array, and modify it here. So I'll just say file, right? File, pass it my tax file. Yep. Now there are a lot of flags you can use with this. I don't think we need the flags at this point. So instead of doing that, I'll just print r the task, all tasks. Yeah, I'll just do this instead, and let's see what happens when we run this code. Oh, I did not need to do that. You can see it shows an empty array because we don't have anything in our file. Let's see when we write something in this file. I'll just put eat, sleep, and dream. Okay. When I refresh this, you can see everything has been transformed into an array. So you can see the first item in the array is eat, which is the first item of the first line. And yeah, we have every other thing here. All right, so what we'll do is we'll just go ahead and change a few things. We are not going to manually add the items into the array. We are just going to add them through the form. So when you submit a form, the items get added to the file here, this task file here. So let's come here. First of all, we need a place to display our tasks, right? So we'll create a div here. I'll call this tasks. where do I keep task container? And here I'll create this here. I'll say tasks dash info like this, and we'll say this is going to be how many tasks added. So here is what we'll do. I'll just do it like this. So this is the same as writing echo. So because I don't want to write echo, I'll just write it like this. So we'll just count all tasks like this, and we'll say this will be so what this will show is the number of tasks that have been added, right? Added. Let's say added here. Okay. Let's refresh. So it says 0 task added. All right, that's good. So this will be the list of tasks that we have. Now we'll say if, okay, I'll do something here. I'll write some PHP code here. So I'll say if count of the tasks, okay, of all tasks is superior to 0, right? We want to display the task, and we'll do something here. We'll just say here this PHP come on, I hate this keyboard. And if hold on, all right, that's going to work. And we need to display the items here. So if they have task, then let's just run this. So we'll say here PHP. So we'll say for each, I think for each all tasks as, yeah, we just use as key, and this is the actual value here. Actual value like this. Again, don't forget to add your columns, and yeah, PHP here. I hate writing all of these tags, friend. And for each, is that what? And for each, yeah, like this. Then we'll display all the items. First of all, I need to put this in a UL tag since I want to display them in a list. So I'll just do it like this. All right. So we have a UL tag, li. Okay, so each li items will be displayed in every iteration. So I'll just come here, put the PHP stuff again. Very annoying. I'll just put the value here. Value like this. Now let's go back and bring back our default items and see how this will look on the page. So when I refresh this page, you can see 3 tags added, right? So every item in the list has been counted, and they have been added to the lists, right? And you can see I'm displaying them like this. I don't really like this way of displaying the items. I think, anyways, we are not seeking perfection here, so let's just leave it like this. Um, how about we have like a checkbox beside it so that we can click on those checkbox to do something. I think that would be more interesting. So let's come here and add the checkbox. So I'll just use an a tag because that's the only thing we can use to like do something to an HTML page without JavaScript. So here I'll change this to, so the href here is going to be submitted to this same page. I'll just put this here, and here will be our item. I think here. This is going to be interesting. You know what? Let's leave this for now. I think we'll come back to this later. Um, let's just go ahead and submit the form. Submit the content of this page to the file. Let's write to the file, right? So, let's refresh this. Okay, everything's still the same. I think in our objectives, right? So store items in the, okay, display item on the page. Now add priority indicators, right? And add um okay, markers done. All right, so here's what we are going to do. I'm going to first of all submit the form, right? Submitting a form requires us to search the type of method we are using. Now we want to submit the form on this page, right? So one thing you come across is this. I think you do something like you say HTML special characters, right? Yeah. So this is just like a way of sanitizing display stuff you're going to display on the screen, right? So when you submit the form, I don't think you need this, but anyways, server PHP. This has like some meaning that I'll explain some other time. PHP itself, yeah. So this way we are submitting this form on this same page here. So what's the time? 9:31. Okay. So if server, right, I think requests underscore method, if the request method is post, right, we want to post, then we need to um let's just say echo submitted. I'm just trying to test this again because I've probably forgotten what this does. Yep, okay. So All right, that works. So we'll get the two um information that we are trying to submit through this form here. Uh, so the input field and the select option. So we have this title. Okay, so first of all, we need the title. I'll just come here and say that's title is going to be, I think, filter input, right? Filter input. Yeah. We use the filter input to sanitize the inputs that we are submitting to the page. This is not really form validation. Form validation is actually different from this, but I think this is more of a security measure than just like forcing the user to enter specific details. So I think this is going to be inputs. Yeah, inputs for posts. Although this is said to be deprecated, I'm not sure. I've not really checked. So we have we'll put the name of the input field. So we'll say this is going to be title, right? And then the flag. The flag will be filter sanitize string. Yep, like this. All right, so that will do the same thing for the priority. So I'll just copy this again, come here and set this to priority is equal to this, and instead of title we'll change the build name to this, which is priority. So this is going to be priority like this, and that's about it. I think that's all we need. And then we'll say if not, that's, I think, oh, I keep forgetting the dollar sign. If not, that's file. Or so this means if the inputs the input sanitization fails on this, right? Or where the sanitization check fails on the select option, the selected option, then we want to, you know, show some error on the page. So I'll just say priority here. Right, I'll just say echo. I'll say the fields. I'll just put all fields are required. Required. Let's just put it that way. Right. So now when I submit the form without any details, you'll see all fields are required will be printed on the screen, right? Which means, you know, something is missing. But when I enter some details here, right, let's just say it and then select, you know, one priority level, this will be gone from the screen. So that's see it's gone. All right, so you know, let's clear these two from the input field. So I'll come here and clear this. Okay, so now we need to start entering stuff on the screen. So else Uh, what do we do? What do we do? So we'll first open the file in an appending mode. So which means everything we add to the file will be added to the previous one after the previous one. Sorry, the previous item in the file. So um yeah. So let's do this. I will take this. Uh yeah, I mean PHP, right? You need to refresh your memory. You don't like PHP? Do you know how to code in PHP, or you? I'm not sure if you're shocked or you're surprised. Okay, so we'll open the file. I'll just call this open file again. So we'll open the file f open. So we're just going to use the file, my task file, like this, and we'll open it in an appending mode. Yes, I am. Yeah, it's true. But you see, also, I think if you're more into PHP, I think WordPress, I think there will be a need for you to like write some custom PHP at some point. I did PHP development in 2021. Yeah. So ever since I've not like written any proper PHP. So I just decided why not give it a try again. I mean, I've been seeing PHP make a lot of comeback, I would say. I mean, people have been talking about it a lot these days, but you know, I've not really gone back to writing any PHP since. So why not? So I just try to give it a try for now. Um, you know, some other time I can decide to write some C plus plus, C sharp. That's why I really want to do. I just want to experiment with all these languages and see what really what I can build with each one of them. Yeah. So again, let's put this in this mode. Uh yep. So mm, so we've opened this um in an appending mode. So we'll add what we want to append to it. So we'll do how to write to a file, right? I think you use F write. Da, da. Okay, so there are different ways to do this, but I don't think this is. I don't want to use F puts contents because F puts contents uh treat stuff more like a string than just like appending stuff. Nah, I'm not using F put content. I know what to use. I'm using F write. Right, F write is what I'm going to use. So yep. So we use F write instead. I'm not using F puts content. So F writes. Right, F writes the resource stream. So we are writing the open file. We are writing to the open file. What are we writing to the open file? Well, we are writing this. I'm just going to put this here. Okay. And the reason why I'm adding all this dash will be clear in a second, but let's just, you know what, let's just write the content of this file here straight away. um I'll just put the task title like this and just add a new line to it, so like this. And after writing to a file, you need to close it because your memory will leak and you'll just be consuming. So F open, F close, close the file. Yep. And let's just do this for now. Okay, so I'll come here. Now you can see there's nothing in the file for now, so we'll just come here and refresh this page. I don't want to do this. Okay, fine. All right, I'll say testing title. Okay, and select a priority level and submit. Now you can see this is not being displayed, but when we refresh the page again, you will see it. Now the reason why this is happening is very simple. You can see that I had to refresh the page before the item is displayed, and by refreshing the page I submitted the page, the contents of the form once again, which is why you're seeing double of the same item here. So after submitting the page, we need to refresh it. So I'll just say header, header. So the location should be this. I'll just use this same page here. I'll copy this. And also one last thing. I don't want any items to be in the posts global, super global after submission of the form. So I'll set this to an empty array so that nothing gets displayed after submission of the form. That way we can just refresh the page without seeing that that prompt to resubmit the page. So here is I'll say testing again. I'll just put this as this and submit. Like you can see, everything is displayed, automatically, and the page was submitted. When we try to refresh this page, we don't see that pop up anymore. We can say shower, and this, you can say shower has been added here, which is really cool. I think there's one more thing to do. Let's properly shift this from here. So I'll just take the task container and add some style to it. Here. Okay, this is margin top. Come on. Margin top 20 pixel like this. Yeah, this is better. So again, you have this. So we are good to go. Think this screen is over now, which is very funny. I wonder why time runs so fast. So I think that's really all you need to do uh, for now. In another stream, I can just explain this stuff into details, but uh, there is there isn't anything complicated here, I guess. But if there is, you should leave me some questions so that I can answer them later on. I'm just going to stop here for today and we'll continue another day. But basically, this is all. The only things we'll need to add later on is the priority indicators. I think we can just display the priority like this. So at the time of adding in the F right, yes. So here's all we need to do. We can just like add the desk item. So you can just say here, you can write variables directly into strings in PHP. So all you have to do is to just say priority here like this. Now this will add a dash between the priority and the title. So I can just put it like this. I can just come here and say priority should be this. And then when we add stuff to to do this again, let's refresh this page. Yep. So we can just say run and select a priority high. So now you will see run dash priority high. Now you can see run priority high. So it's really easy to just manipulate strings as long as you can read them from the file, right? Using the file function. Then you can do pretty much anything in PHP. Alright, this is about 92 lines of code to get most of these things done. Yeah, I think we're going to stop there for now. I'll provide the link to this code once I post it on GitHub in the description so that you can have access to it and run it yourself in your code environment. Alright, that's all for today, and we'll see you another day. Bye.